Hi, Peter Dingle here in my healthy kitchen, well, our healthy kitchen. This is the kitchen of our home. And a lot of people ask me, Pete, you know, how do I eat well? And particularly coming up to Christmas, you think, well, you're going to overindulge, you're going to eat some, well, not so good foods. And the trick is really to add some extra really nutritious snacks and meals in between if you're going to eat that well. Now, I'm a fundamental believer in nutrition as the cornerstone of your health and well-being, eating well, eating fresh, eating foods that are in season, eating foods that really help your health and well-being. In fact, I can tell you that probably 80% of the chronic illness we suffer from is related to the type of food and the way we eat it. So my message is here is a simple start. And one of the things that I like, again, coming up to Christmas, something nice and easy and simple to start with. And what we've got is almond milk. I'm going to make an almond milk. And if you go to the shop and buy an almond milk, the problem is that the second ingredient is usually vegetable oil, an omega-6 fatty acid. Now, these omega-6 fatty acids are really linked with inflammation and a lot of disease, and you really want to get them out of all of those things. They're actually hidden in most food, most processed foods. So that's why it's great to do fresh. And so the second, third, fourth ingredient, they've got colorings, they've got additives, they've got emulsifiers, a whole raft of things, and all of those, apart from their own direct health effects on you, play havoc with your gut microbiome, and of course, you know that's so important. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate how simple it is to make an almond smoothie. Great, isn't it? But then I'm going to show you, we're going to keep going and see if we can get through 3 or 4 recipes here for you. So what I've got is, as you can see there, I hope you can see, there's my almonds that have been soaked for about 8 hours, and you soak them for the very simple reason of making sure that you stop some of the, what are called enzyme inhibitors. Ignoring that, when you soak foods, it also brings out a lot of the availability of the nutrients. Now, the great thing about almonds is that they have more calcium than cow's milk. It's much more bioavailable, 10 times more. It's got 100 times more magnesium, which is what you need, the magnesium, calcium for your bones and arteries and so on. And it's got all of those other plant-based nutrients, fiber and so on, which is essential for your health and the health of your gut. Now, let's start off. So I've got this soaked in, put it on, empty it in there. Now, my second ingredient to make this really, really simple is some dates. There's 2 little dates in there. I'm adding the dates for a little bit of sweetness in there. But the other thing about dates is that they're rich in minerals as well, extremely rich in minerals, and fiber. So we've got the fiber in the almonds, we've got the fiber in here, and the fiber is what keeps your gut microbiome alive, and you'll hear me saying that a lot. So we put that in. So simple, isn't it? Now, all our water that we add to it, all our water has been filtered water. So this is one of the jugs we use for filtering. I'm going to do a few recipes. I've kept that one full. I've got the filtered water in here, about 500 ml, so half a litre or so on to make some almond milk. Make sure you always turn it off here at the tap. Turn it on. Brilliant. Turn it on like that, all ready to go. And just for a little bit of flavouring, some natural vanilla essence. Just a tad, and that makes an absolutely delicious almond milk. Highly recommend it, simple, straightforward. Now, how long has that taken me apart from my talking? It's taken me 30 seconds to actually put that in. It took me 30 seconds to prep everything about 8 hours ago. I simply put it on, do that, lock it all in, and I pulse. You can already see that it's mixing up. I've got this nice, smooth almond milk. If I want one for a cappuccino machine, I actually run it through twice, but you can see. I will simply turn that on. Now, I've got too much for that cup, and of course, I better test it and try it for you, so just to check out that. Very nice. Very nice. If you want it a little bit stronger, all you need to do is add a few more almonds. If you want a little bit sweeter, a few more dates. The great thing is you can vary it on how you like and what you want to do. So with that one done, my next thing is I want to demonstrate how, again, simple it is for the transition. Now, I've got a little bit of leftover almond milk in there. So what I'm going to do is take out my filter here, put that in here. I'm going to pour it in, this one. So you can see I've got a great little almond milk in there. Now I'm going to give that a quick rinse. There's a few little bits of liquid and that in there. I'm taking that out. As you can see how simple here, I know I'm off screen at the moment, but you can see how simple it is to actually make the almond milk. The second one, really simple again. I'll just give the filter a quick rinse. Because the next one I'm going to make doesn't require almonds and an almond taste. In fact, I'm going to make a lemonade. So that one took a minute or so. I'll put it back in. It always, sorry about that. There you go, goes in there. Now that's off again, all ready to go. And this time it's going to be a lemonade. I'll get rid of this one. The first cutting board with all the ingredients, and the second cutting board comes up here. And this one is lemonade. You can tell by the mistakes that this is a real video, not reproduced and repeated many times. This is actually happening, and well, we're going to go with the flow, don't we? And this one is a lemonade, and everybody likes a lemonade in summer and summer. But right now, where I am in Perth, Western Australia, or Fremantle, there's heaps and heaps of lemon. But of course, one of the problems with using lemon is you'll always end up with the rind. You've got the rind there, and the rind is the most nutritious part. And the seeds, they're the most nutritious part of the actual lemon. So with our lemonade, we've got the filter in there, we've got it all ready to go. I've got to turn it off this time, and all I'm going to do, that's a lemon from one of our trees. We've got plenty of lemon trees and citrus trees growing. So I'm going to throw in half a lemon. I'm going to make a small amount this time. And again, for a little bit of sweetness, because the volatile oils in the actual lemon peel are so strong, pungent, beautiful. That's the type of stuff they use in essential oils and so on. And the beauty here is you're actually getting them in your food. So imagine how powerful and potent that is for your health. Lemon is a great cleanser, absolutely great for the start of a day. You can do lots of mixes with the lemon. But as I said, we're just doing a simple lemonade, and the kids will love this. We've got a couple of dates here. We've got a couple of dates that have been soaking. So it all goes in there. Now I'm going to find my water. Oh, here's my little jug. I'll put some more water in there. All the water we use goes through a filter. So we take out the fluoride, we take out the chlorine, we take out all the organochlorine, pesticides, and we take out all of the contaminants, heavy metals and so on when we use our water. It's the best way to do it, and not only that, it ionizes, alkalizes and remineralizes the water, so we end up with a really healthy, delicious tasting water. So that's a part of this. If you hear that bark in the background, don't worry, that's our pug watchdog. Yep, they love barking, and well, that's about all they're good for. Great pets, pugs, I found out. So we've got our water, put it in here. Like that, simple to go. I get my next cup here. So I've got my almond milk already done. You can see the almond milk. I've done that one. I'll put that up out of the way. I've got my next one ready to go. I put my lid on there and pulse. Now that's going to be really strong. So what I'm going to have to do is add just a little bit more water in there, because the strength of that lemon peel, which is, remember, the best part of the lemon, and we mostly throw it out. So now when you're told to put a little bit of lemon or something in there, you can now say, well, I'm going to use that to make the lemonade. So now for other function, this has an auto control for the intensive breaking down of everything, breaking open the cells and so on the thing. You don't just a short period of time, it's brilliant. And of course all I do now is turn that on. And I've got a beautiful lemonade. And again, here's cheers. That is actually really delicious. And a hell of a lot cheaper if you consider the price of lemons right now. They're growing everywhere. That is so nice. So I'll put that one up there. Now, because, you see, I've got a little bit left in the bottom. Where am I? Here it is. Just going to take this off. Down here. Pour the leftover in there. Not much. I didn't want to make too much. That is a delicious, an absolutely delicious drink there. I'm going to rinse these out really quickly. That's how simple it is. All you've got to do is run it around a few times. And it comes back just about new. Rinse off the filter. And all ready to go. Now, the whole part about this is, this makes it so simple to do really delicious meals. As you can see, they're fresh out of the garden. And the next one is another good example of it. Turn it off. I've got my filter in here. Again, fresh out of the garden, this one. This is, why I say, well, not all of it. We've got parsley. Parsley is so rich in minerals and vitamin C, iron. But the great thing about the iron is that because it's with vitamin C, and because we've got another lemon to put in there, it actually enhances the iron and availability, and because they all feed the gut microbiome, they enhance the absorption of the iron too. So it's a win-win situation. Then we've got a couple of lemons, or I'll actually put a whole lemon in this time, and a little bit of corn. And corn and a lot of these foods are great for minerals, adding a little bit of body to it as well. So you just change the drink, and it's a different way of getting a different type of drink that's simple, tasty, and has a little bit more body to it. So, you know, you like holding on to that a little bit more. So to start off with, I'm going to put the corn in. The parsley, just grab it a little bit. That's straight out of my garden. My garden is rampant with parsley. In fact, there's a huge weed at the moment, and people coming up and getting it all from the street because it's on the front verge. And it's one of the best foods you can have. I nibble on it every single day, and we put it into all of our cooking when we can. It's a great Mediterranean herb that should be used. Lemon, throw in a little bit of water. Again, I can't measure it this time. And we've probably got enough there to get it started. Get the lid. Now, as you can see, each of these recipes takes, once you've got it prepped, which is only 30 seconds or a minute, it only takes 30 seconds or a minute to actually prepare it. Isn't it simple? So don't tell me eating healthily is expensive, or eating healthily is hard, or eating healthily. This is the fastest fast food and most nutritious food you can have. So I've got it all ready, got it all prepped, turn it off. And there I've got a delicious meal. Now, green means it's rich in magnesium, because the magnesium molecule is at the center of all of the chlorophyll molecules. So again, magnesium. I know a lot of people hear about calcium. Magnesium is actually better for you, or in balance with calcium, and that's what we're deficient on. There's a huge number of studies on the benefits of magnesium, upping the magnesium, and you get that from all your veggies and nuts and seeds and so on, but nowhere better than the rich dark green foods that you grow yourself in your own garden. So I've got my smoothie there ready to go. Now, if I want to have this a little bit chunky, I can actually take the filter out, and I've got this beautiful smooth meal. Or if I want it smooth, and you know how kids are sometimes, they're a little bit finicky with you know, the foods, and they really like it just being in a certain texture. Well, this is why we're running this one again through the filter here, but you don't have to, and we'll demonstrate that. And of course, we just turn it on. Look at that vibrant green. Isn't it amazing, the colour? That is so good for you. And because of the corn, it actually has that extra body to it. Now, the great thing about this is you can add virtually anything into it. So if you didn't want the corn, you wanted some seeds, you wanted some nuts, and we'll be using some of those as well, you can do it. Let's try this one. Strong lemon and parsley. You can barely taste that corn. It just, it rounds off the taste a little bit more. I reckon I've got a winner here. This is a good one. But they're all good. They're all good. And the point is, how long did it take to make? And so simple. Now, we put it up there. It's out of the way. Get this one out of the way here too. And what are you up to? Number four. This is amazing, isn't it? We can get through all these. Here we are preparing. Now, we're preparing meals for, let's say, 2, 3 or 4 people, and they're taking 30 seconds, 40 seconds each, and everyone can go off. We can feed almost 10 or 12 people here just constantly by doing this. How simple is it? Now, this one is, in a sense, my favourite because it's going to be my blood pressure smoothie. Now, my blood pressure smoothie has lots and lots of ingredients in it that benefit blood pressure, and I've written about that and said that many, many times. Now, what I'm going to do here is, you can see, if I wanted, there's a little bit of green left in there. Of course, I haven't poured it into my cup. I can actually use that in my blood pressure smoothie as well. But I don't, I'll start from scratch, and what I'm going to do, I'll put the filter over here. I'll pour the rest into here because I'm going to drink that later when you're not looking. I'm going to pour my rest of that in there. Look at that. Yeah, if I wanted to make that a lot lighter, I'd just add more water and run it through, but again, I'm trying to maximise my amount of time. That's my one for dessert. I'm going to give this a quick rinse again. You can hear the water running in the background, no cuts in this film. You're getting all the details, seeing and showing how easy it is. All clean. Do you have another machine that cleans so quickly? I love it, I love it. I can do all these meals in a few minutes and have it all prepped, ready to go. But empty, it's a bit more of that water there. There you go. Filter there. Putting the filter in. It's normally not difficult because I do it many, many times each day, but because I'm filming here, there you go. We're going to turn that off, ready to go. Now, this is my blood pressure smoothie. This is world famous. I invented it about 4 years ago because there's about 30% of the adult population has high blood pressure. And the reason we have high blood pressure, the primary reason, is the inside of the arteries, there's a little layer of cells called the endothelium. And this one layer thick all around there, if it's damaged, it regulates blood pressure and says up the blood pressure. If it's damaged because there's been toxins or too much stress or poisons or wrong type of foods, oxidation, sugar, vegetable oils, all those things cause damage to it. So what repairs it though is nutrients, and certain nutrients in particular. And once it's repaired, it can generate the right type of nutrients to relax the muscles around the arteries and lower blood pressure. And we had probably the best one was a lady. She was her and her husband. They were both 86, and I have them on video too, so I'll put them up one day. And they had she had a blood pressure of 210 on 110. 210 on 110. That's about double what it should be. After 3 weeks without, and listen, just using this and some other simple eating strategies, it was 110 on 70. And she's still to this day just blessing, saying blessings for finding. Nutrients repair. Nutrients repair the damage that's been done after decades or years of eating poorly. So here it is. And the reason we've got this is, first of all, my first ingredients. The first one is almonds. I'm going to, again, some soaked almonds there. We tend to soak them again just to stop some of those enzyme inhibitors. There's no problems with eating fresh ones, raw ones, soaked ones. Either way, great food, dense in nutrients. But what's great about almonds is that they're rich in something called L-arginine. And L-arginine causes that endothelium to release, literally, to release the arteries and make your arteries a lot more flexible, hence lowering blood pressure. Now, there's a good 20 or 30 studies just on almonds. There are hundreds, if not thousands of studies on L-arginine. And if you take the L-arginine supplement, great, but you've got to take it every day. What this does is give you all the nutrients to repair the arteries as well as getting the L-arginine to lower the blood pressure. So put the almond in. Linseed, my favourite superfood. At $5 a kilo for organic linseed. And again, you can see that small amounts, depends on how many people you want to feed. Put the linseed in there. Now with the linseed, it's really important to grind it up first. And why it's important to grind up is because it's got this hard outer shell. But inside it, you've got omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for your heart and arteries and basically every health condition out there. But it's also got high levels of L-arginine, so you're getting from the almonds and the linseed. And the fibre and what's called the lignans are absolutely essential nutrients, and again, along with the almonds and everything else, help heal the inside of the artery. So we just pulse it. So it's just broken up the shell of all of the linseed in there. Now another way of getting around that is literally by soaking the linseed. I'm not that prepared, so I've literally just broken it down. Shake it on, and my next ingredient is beetroot. About a third of a beetroot. Now, what is great about beetroot, and I throw it in either whole or half or whatever. What's great about beetroot? It has something in it called nitrates, and when the nitrates get into the mouth, they form nitrites. And when the nitrates then get in and around the arteries, they literally form nitric oxide, which causes the arteries to relax again. So it's a win-win situation. So why this works so well, why it's so effective with thousands of people who have actually used it and dozens who have contacted me, is because it's dealing with the basic issue. It's giving nutrients. That nutrient-rich foods is giving you the nutrients to repair the arteries and do exactly what your body was meant to be doing. So I've got that in there. Now, if you don't have beetroot, or you want a different colour or a different flavour, and beetroot gives it a little bit of a a woody flavour if you don't, and it's raw beetroot by the way, of course, a bit of a woody flavour and a red colour. You can also throw in some spinach leaves. Anything like this is also rich in these nitrates, which are again great. They're also rich in fibre. I'm mixing and matching, it doesn't matter. And then my final ingredient is banana. And I put banana in because it's rich in potassium, and it also makes it taste a lot sweeter. And this will actually be remarkably sweet. And a lot of people might have probably never eaten beetroot in a smoothie, but if you try that, it is absolutely delicious. Now, I'll get my water filter, still got enough water in here, pour it in. Now again, I can take my my filter out for this one. In fact, I'm going to. I don't need the filter this time. I'm going to take my filter out. I'm going to put it in, and all I'm going to do now is blend it all up. Lock it in, all ready to go. And this time, I don't need the pulse. I'm just going to put it on auto. And you can see from the colour in the background that it's breaking open all the cells. All of these foods that I've just put in there have dozens, if not hundreds of nutrients in them. That's why they're so essential. Now, if you eat processed foods, you're missing out not just on getting all of these nutrients, but you're also getting anti-nutrients. All of the emulsifiers, the enhancers, the flavourings, the artificial sweeteners, you name it, they all play havoc with your gut microbiome and your health. My simple message is that if you want to be healthier, you've got to eat this top food. So you do it once a day, twice a day, you can live on it if you want. This food is so delicious. Now I'm going to add more water. I'm going to get my cup. Put on the lid. And voila. Isn't that a beautiful colour? Turn it off, and the machine turns itself off, which is great. How many times have you heard me say, isn't that great looking? Look at the nutrients in it. The red colour are what are called carotenoids. And those the red colour, the carotenoids are absolutely brilliant, like beta-carotene, which you've heard in carrots and so on. But the green that went in also has some of the things called zeaxanthin, and these other ingredients be a kind of a yellowy colour hidden on the green leaf, and they're great for your eyes, preventing macular degeneration. So these have so many benefits. They don't just go in and to start to help your body repair the arteries. They go in and help your body repair and fix everything, which is what we should be on literally every single day. In fact, that's to get me through the next one. Pour that out. Get my next jug. And what a great blood pressure smoothie. We have had dozens of people around us say, Pete, thanks for that recipe. Again, with beetroot, there are probably 50 studies on beetroot alone, lowering blood pressure. On top of that, there are probably 200 on improving athletic performance. So it just goes hand in hand. If you want to be smarter, more focused, have more stamina to be able to do the things you want, this is a great start to that health that you're doing. Now, of course, I'm going to rinse it out because my next one is actually going to require putting everything in, and I don't want it coming out bright red. So a quick rinse again, getting rid of that excess beetroot and the colour of it. Give it a quick wipe over on the outside, quick wipe over on the inside. What's that, 10 seconds, 15 seconds to actually wipe it down and get it ready. Okay, I literally don't want the filter in there anymore, and I don't want the tap, so I'm just looking for my little bit. I'm going to go in here. I don't want the tap on this one, so I'm just going to get the little plug that we put in here too. And I don't want this one because I'm going to make a breakfast meal for you. And it's simple. I'll just better rinse the top of my blood pressure smoothie. All done. And one of the things that people always ask me is what do you do for breakfast? And I say, look, here are some really simple smoothies, but I don't like them, people say. So here is my my famous nutsly, seedsly breakfast. And last time I did this, we had about 12,500 views when I last saw it some time ago. So I'm just going to get rid of these boards over here. And my suggestion to people is why would you go and buy a muesli when they've got extra things added in that you don't know. It's been sitting in vegetable oils probably, and on top of that, it's been there a long time. So all we do is go to our cupboard. And you probably can't see the ingredients on my cupboard here. This is our nut and seed. There's our pistachios, there's our walnuts, there's our pepitas, there's our, you name it, we've got a whole collection of nuts and seeds in there that we use regularly. And when our grandkids come around, they head straight to there to get their snacks. And nothing better than getting nuts because they are so nutrient dense. And it's not just having the vitamins and minerals, but also those plant, what are called phytonutrients, what are called polyphenols. And these are the things that keep us healthy and alive, clean out our arteries, reduce our risk of cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, and all of those things. So it's a great place to start. So this time I've got my breakfast muesli. And again, you see I've got some simple ingredients in there. Depending on what you want to do, I'm going to start with, I've got a mix of nuts. Now it doesn't matter what type of nuts. The whole point about really getting the nutrients in everything is making sure that you get all, a combination of nuts. Don't just get focused on almonds or focused on walnuts or focus as many varieties of nuts the better, because they've all got their own super ingredients in them and they all combine to make exceptionally healthy. So I put those nuts in. I've got my seeds today and I've just got some pepitas. They go in. Here's my next round of seeds. I think I ran out of containers, so I just put them on the board. Sunflower seeds. And of course, you're going to say, Pete, but you said sunflower oil wasn't good for you. It's not. But sunflower seeds come with a whole raft of other nutrients. Again, like all foods, when they're in their raw state, it's just that when we extract one thing and say, well, come on, use this, and we use far too much of it. And here I've just got some goji berries to add a little bit of colour. Some shredded coconut, and you all know how good coconut is for you. Now I've got barley flakes because a lot of people like that muesli flavour and taste to it. These are barley flakes. Now, a lot of people will react to wheat, and few will react to oats, and the least reactive one that I tend to use are the barley flakes. And again, they give that a little bit of feeling, not too many of a breakfast cereal, a breakfast food here. Put the barley flakes in, and then what do I want to do to make it nice and really simple? I'm going to just pulse. I'm going to pulse this really quickly. I'm going to find my lid. Just pulse that quickly. Then I've got, because I'm making a breakfast cereal, yeah, and I'm going to put some fruit in there at the same time. I don't normally cut my fruit, but this time I'm actually cutting it because I want it in little segments and I don't want to, grind it right up. So I'm just going to cut it in, throw it in. I've got an apple here that's left over from our granddaughter this morning, or about half an hour ago. So I put that in, and all I need to do now because I want this as a delicious breakfast food, I can, you know, ready to go and a little bit moist. I can actually put a little bit of water in there, or in that fact, I can put any of these in there. So I'm going to get my almond milk, and I'll just test this. No, that's a lemonade. That's a lemonade. Here's my almond milk. So my almond milk, I'm just going to put a little bit of almond milk in there now. So I've got it all ready, prepped. Put my lid on. And again, a quick fold. Now that's all ready to go. All I need to do is open it up, grab it out. And this ends up a little bit like one of those soaked muesli, what do you call the bircher mueslis and so on. But again, you've made it out of fresh ingredients straight there. And when we get it, and we pour it down on here. Finish with that one. Now, of course, I want to make it look delicious. Got some beautiful specks of colour in there. Got a banana here. I'm just going to cut the banana a little bit and get a few slices of banana. And geez, I feel like a real chef now. Not the way I cut the banana though. And if you want the kids to eat it, throw on a strawberry, some blueberries, which are cheap at the moment, and you've got a great meal. How's that? That's not I reckon it's a fantastic meal. Now, on top of that, by the way, I'm just looking. We've actually got some kefir. So normally I would add that on the top. Now, I don't like putting it in the machine because the machine will actually destroy some of the bacteria. And this is probiotic and prebiotic, so it's great to add a spoonful of this on top of it. And you've got a couple of spoons of this to make it a little bit moister and so on. Now in this with Martine, my wife, makes this, and along with kombucha and other fermented foods. So it's got some nuts and seeds, and that's all ready to eat. Absolutely beautifully delicious and tasty. Now a lot of people have also said, Pete, you know, what happens if I've got a son who's or a child who's allergic to nuts, and the message is just use the seeds, just use the fruit, just use the things that don't cause the problem. So I'll put this over here, hold on. That's going to be my dessert tonight, or this afternoon. I'll put that away. Now, for my last one, I thought I'd leave the last one just to give you a great finishing up here. It's a little bit cold and cloudy today outside, so I've got my ingredients here, and I'm going to make a turmeric chai. You know how delicious all these foods are. Well, this is the nice one. I love this. This is a great warming. If you don't want to get into milk and all those other bits and pieces and hot tea and coffee, turmeric has been shown in hundreds of studies, thousands of studies to be beneficial. Lowers inflammation, lowers your risk. So a bit of turmeric every day. Of course, it's going to be in some seeds and nuts and oils in there as well. And it will absolutely delicious. Now, I get my filter, give it a final rinse. We last used that. And for this one, I have my next bowl. Now, my next jug. Now, the reason I use this jug is because turmeric actually tends to stain your jugs a little bit. So we've got our older jug that we use. I take the lid off here, or the cap off. Put the cap back on. Oh no, I don't. I want the tap on this one, don't I? What are you doing, Pete? Okay. So just hold it here. Put the tap on. Put the tap on, ready to go. Nice and simple. I've got the filter. Come on, Pete, put the filter in. That's what happens when you're doing something live on television, eh? I wonder how the actors do it. Turn the tap off, get ready there. Now, I've got the turmeric and some herbs in there, and the herbs are cardamom. I got Martine in the background, she prepared this one for me. Cardamom and turmeric in there. Some sesame seeds to add that nice little bit of, again, body to it. Coconut. desiccated coconut, if you can see that, I hope you can. And this is going to be a delicious drink. What I should do is, right at this point, I'm going to turn the kettle on because I've got some filtered water in the kettle. And I'm actually going to make a hot drink because, as I said, it's a bit cloudy and windy. We've had a few storms here. And then my final ingredient is, here, which I've already put in, is a cardamom, but I'll give it another little sprinkle in there. So we've got everything. Now you can add virtually anything to that to taste it up, whether you want some dates for sweetness, whether you want some vanilla essence, whether you want a banana, chai. It's up to you and up to your imagination. There is nothing stopping you from changing all of these recipes over because, as I said right from the beginning, there's stuff that make you healthy. And again, people will say it's so hard to eat healthy foods and it takes time consuming. No, it's not. First of all, grow some of your own as we do, just a few bits. And then, secondly, learn to be able to use a machine like this. We love the, I don't know if you can see that or not, we love the Ladyship. It's a simple, really simple piece of equipment. It is such a good present for anyone. Of course, it's a great tool for you to use in the household. And it's only, when we do our tools and so on, it's only $350, which makes it absolutely worthwhile. You can buy from our website, www.drdingle.com. along with our books which have recipes in it, by the way, which have a whole raft of health benefits. We've got a great library of books that we've written and information we've got. We've got the water filter that I've shown you, and given that I've just run out of water, you can see how fantastic. That takes about 40 seconds to fill up. And they're only $170, and literally you do 2,400 litres in those. We've got a great combination of things that are relatively inexpensive. I mean, it works out as a few cents a litre compared to the bottles that people buy for $1, $2 or $3. And you end up with better quality, fresher water because you see yourself making it. So I've got all the ingredients in here. I'm going to lock it down. I'm going to give it a quick pulse. And have to make sure that things like the sesame seeds, I really break open the cells. So we don't have sesame seeds in anymore. They're actually being broken up and releasing all the nutrients in there. And the great thing about this, all of these ingredients are not just healthy for you, they're healthy for your gut, which keeps you healthy as well. You've just heard the kettle boil. I'm going to take the kettle. Now, the reason I've got the older jug, by the way, remember, is because turmeric will tend to stain it a little bit, and we've got 2 jugs that we run all the time. A little bit of hot water in there. Oops, did I turn the tap off? Yep. Turn the tap off. A little bit of hot water. And this will end up with a spicy, really spicy drink. Now, this has probably cost me, how much to make? 50 cents, 60 cents. It's all fresh ingredients, stuff that I've actually got out. It's cost me virtually nothing to make. And if you go to a shop, you pay $5 or $6 now. If you go to a shop, it's worthwhile having something like that. I better get another cup out here. We're running out of glasses. Turmeric chai, put it straight under there. I'll do exactly the same. It won't, Martine said it might break, it won't break, but I'll get a cup. I'll get one of my favourite cups. This is my orange cup here, because it's coming out hot, remember. It's nice and simple. Just hold it. See the steam coming up there. Look at that colour, isn't that fantastic? Now all I need to do, I know it's well ground up. Wow. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to add a little bit of my almond milk in there, because I think they go hand in hand. What I need now is to stir it, and I don't have my spoon, so I'll just grab a spoon, one moment. Spoon. You see we choreographed this, didn't you? And I now have a turmeric chai. In fact, I have another turmeric chai in there too. So if you've got time, come around and visit, because we've got spare drinks for everyone around here. Here's a turmeric chai. Here's drinking to your health. Needs a bit of sweetener, I think. A bit of honey. I should have put some honey in, but hey, it's great as it is. I hope you've appreciated this information we've given you here today. I hope you've seen how fantastic and easy it is. And I really just, what we're trying to do is get this information out to people that healthy eating, using things like the ladyship and the water filter are so simple, and using the nutrients that are fresh in your kitchen, in your garden, and everywhere else. Stay tuned. I think I said it was 10 minutes. Well, I'm sorry, it's almost 40.